Okay, this video is on how to destroy Bible alone. Protestants believe in the Bible alone. Catholics have a church that was established by Jesus Christ and handed on through the apostles. Like the church that's in the book of Acts, for example, they weren't using a book of Acts. So they were not a book of Acts believing church, or a New Testament for that matter. I mean, if they didn't have the book of Acts, they didn't have the New Testament compiled. So, plus they hadn't gone out to everywhere, and come back to one central location to bring all the books back into one book. So, they weren't a Bible believing church for like a long time. But one of the main problems that people can't see is that it's not a matter of who interprets the Bible correctly. See, like one day I was talking with a Protestant, and they keep giving you scripture verses and telling you, oh, well, that's your interpretation or whatever. And I thought, well, God, how can I get around this? It's hard to get around this because they're always bombarding Catholics with a bunch of Bible verses and stuff. And then whenever you show them that they're doing it wrong and it's like really logical and orderly, they just keep going into denial. So I thought, well, this is a demonic tactic. How do I defeat this? And the way that you defeat it, it's not a matter of who interprets scripture. It's not a matter of who interprets scripture correctly. It's a matter of who interprets the Catholic Church correctly, because Protestants, they are protesting the Catholic Church. They're not protesting the Bible. So what they're doing is they're misinterpreting the Catholic Church, and then they go to scripture with this false premise that they have of Catholic beliefs. And then they start protesting that, using scripture verses. So it's not a matter of who interprets the Bible correctly. See, if they're interpreting the Catholic Church incorrectly, then whenever the very next thing that they do is they go to the Bible with that false premise. So if you go to the Bible with a false premise, you're going to it with a false premise. So it doesn't matter what scripture verse they pick to justify their protest. They're protesting a false premise. They're protesting something that doesn't exist. They're protesting something they created in their mind, a hate towards the Catholic Church for a false reason. So then to go to the Bible with that sort of mindset is wrong. You're using the Bible for the wrong thing. Jesus established the Catholic Church. It's 2020 right now, and it's 2020 after Jesus Christ walked the earth. He had apostles. They physically went out to different nations. They established the church in a whole bunch of different known places of the world at that time, throughout the known world. They went and established the Catholic Church, and then it spread. That's what spread. People didn't even know how to read. They didn't have printing presses. They didn't have a Barnes and Noble or a Books A Million, where you can go down to the mall or, go on to Amazon. Amazon's really big in, selling books. But yeah, Amazon and all those places, they didn't exist. People couldn't read. To me, it makes more sense. Jesus established the Last Supper. It's the new covenant in his blood. He took bread, he broke it, and he says, take this, all of you, and eat it. This is my body, which will be given up for you. Do this in remembrance of me. Do this. And he took the cup likewise and said, do this. So that's what the church did, is they did something. it's easier for people to eat a meal. Like, God's smart. He made the new covenant a meal. Everybody's got to eat. Everybody can eat. Everybody can like listen and eat. So, that's the thing right there. Not everybody could read back then. So he didn't establish a book to be interpreted however you want. He didn't do that. He didn't give the apostles a book. But that's the end of my video. I hope some of these things get you to think. And thanks for watching.